Alright, so when it comes to being an entrepreneur, especially at a young age, like I said, there's going to be a few different things that are going to affect you, right? So when you're first starting off, it's going to be very, very lonely, right? There's not going to be a lot of people, and believing you especially. A lot of people are going to doubt you in the beginning. I can almost guarantee every single person will doubt you, right? Even your own family. And now some of the experiences I had when I first started off as an entrepreneur was the extremely lonely nights where I would spend, hours per night not falling asleep until 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was just working every single night, right? Because when your mind is racing on, about business, about being better, being the best version of yourself, when your mind is racing every single day, all night, it's super hard for you to sleep. And nobody really talks about this because they always just show, the best parts about being an entrepreneur, the fancy watches, the Lambos, the private jets, the traveling. They only really talk about that. And it makes people have a false realization of what entrepreneurship really is, right? Nobody actually starts off like that. And a lot of people don't realize that shit like this takes years, like literally years. The internet makes it seem like you can get rich within 3 to 6 months. And that is absolutely not true. You can make some money between 3 to 6 months, but you're not going to be rich, you're not going to be wealthy. Wealthy is being healthy in your mind, your body, and as well as having some financial success. Now, not everyone starts off with financial success or with a fit body. They always have a different starting point. So don't compare yourself to other people on the internet. It's actually not that bad to compare yourself a little bit. It's only when it starts to get bad is when you do it every single day, all day, and it starts to affect you mentally. You can worry about yourself, but you can also see where you are inside the marketplace when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And I do that all the time. When I see people online who are running their coaching businesses in similar positions to me, I can see that they're running their businesses and they're doing, 20, 30K a month. We're not quite there yet with the coaching business. We are, in general, but not with the online businesses. I can see that I'm not quite there yet. And so I compare myself in the marketplace. It gives me the motivation and that fire and fuel to actually push myself to be better and work every single day. And I had a period of time in my life where that's all I could do was compare myself to others. I would realize that everybody else is just doing better than me. You see these guys who start up on social media who 3 months ago had $0 to their name and now they're making 50K a month. Absolutely not real. Everybody gets lucky at some point in their life, but if you're not prepared to get lucky, that luck will never find you. As you guys can see, I'm walking in my backyard right now, and I want to tell you that this is one of the best things I do throughout my day, right? It's one of the most peaceful things that I pretty much have in my life, is just walking down, seeing the fish, right? Absolutely beautiful. This is better than any sort of Rolex, but a lot of people aren't really going to tell you that. They're going to tell you need to be worried about, the materialistic things, when the truth is money solves money problems, right? If you get extremely rich and make a lot of money at a young age, you have a potential of being an extremely good person, but you also have the potential of ruining your life, right? Because if you only have money, I live by this quote. Someone told me when I was very young, and they said some people are so poor that all they have is money. Now, if you actually think about it, it's extremely true. If you only have money, nothing else, no relationships, no friends, family, people you love, a wife maybe, some kids, if you don't have any of that or a purpose, you're not going to be fulfilled, right? Money solves money problems, like I said. So if you want to be successful, you have to find a purpose and the motivation that gets you up every single day. If you don't like getting up to work, I would consider quitting entrepreneurship right now, or at least find another business that you actually enjoy doing, right? Because that's the beauty of it all, is the journey. But you can still live a life of fulfillment without being an entrepreneur. So if you're seeing this and you feel like the only way that the internet has told you if you want to be successful is being an entrepreneur, it's absolutely not true. Some people are successful in their own minds by working at a coffee shop, making 60K a year, if that, and then coming home to their kids, right? It doesn't really matter for everybody. Success is different for everybody, and I'm sure you know that if you're watching this video, whoever you are. But find your purpose, find your motivation, become successful, and do worry about the money. It's important because you want to have money for freedom. So to everybody watching this video, I personally wish for you to be the most successful version of yourself